Hello! In the next few minutes, we're going to look at how you can work with us to improve the speed of your label delivery. One of the questions we get a lot is, what is your lead time? And unfortunately, that's a little bit simplistic. We can normally make labels from approval of the proof within 2 or 3 days, depending on volume, etc. But we can normally work with you to get what your needs on site sorted. The problems actually become prior to the proof being approved, and I'm going to talk to you about those now. So one of the first things we have to do between us is what's called a location file. Now, a lot of the time nowadays, the location file is provided by you, the client, or it can be made by us, the supplier. What's important here is we have one line per label. So if you need 10,000 labels, we need 10,000 lines of information, and everything that's needed on a label is required to go on one of those lines. So preparation of a location file can add a little bit of time, particularly if that hasn't been taken into consideration at the point you contact us and you've got a bit of lead time pressure. So be aware of location file. Have a think about who's going to make it. If we're going to make it, which is absolutely fine, we're very happy to do that, and we very, very rarely charge for that. How do we get the information? If it's a rack drawing, not a problem. We can work off a rack drawing very simply, but if we've got to go to site and walk a building, etc., that can take quite a bit of time. The next thing is the label designs themselves. There's 2 things here. How complex are they? A lot of the time they're quite straightforward. It may be a split base label or upper beam label or some shelving labels with different arrow directions, not particularly complicated. But sometimes step beam labels and upright labels can have 8-9 sections on them. They can be quite tricky to design up. That can take a little bit of time. So give some thought to what label designs will work for you, and have you got enough time to discuss those with us. And the second thing is the multiple designs. How many of each design have we got? So if you've got split beam labels or step beam labels at the bottom, or upright labels, and you've got a lot of variation in height in the racking, that can add to the number of different type of labels we have to design. And again, that can add some time to the proof process. So once we've been through label design and the location file, and we've merged those together and we've done you a proof and we've sent that over to you, there's a proof process to go through, and we ask you to check that. There will be a separate video for proof processing, just to make sure you understand everything we expect of you from that point of view. But the proof process at your end can take a little bit of time. Who do you have to get involved? Who has to sign it off? Are you going to double check it with other people? And then what can elongate a lead time then is amendments to the proof. If we've done a lot of designs and there's a lot of complexity within those designs, that can add some time again to how quickly we can get the proof signed off and get into production. So once we've done the location files and the designs, we've sent you the proof, you've checked it properly and you've returned it, then we go into production. This very often can be a fast process. We don't normally hang around on production. What can elongate it for us is the amount of Teslin plastic labels. They go through several processes. And lamination can add 24 or 48 hours, but no big shakes there. That's not normally the issue. One other thing that can also impact on go live dates is speed of installation. 2 guys on site on racking cannot normally install more than about 1,800 to 2,000 labels a day. So if you've got a particularly large job, we've got to factor that in before you go live. So again, as always, speak to us early, reach out early. The quicker we get involved with these things, the quicker we understand them, the quicker we can work with you on realistic lead times and whether we're going to hit deadline dates or not.